How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Mentor Monday. Mentor Monday is your weekly microdose of encouragement, inspiration, and miracle grow on your potential as a coach. Let's get this chat active. You see right here, this is what we always do. Do me a huge favor. You guys know that we don't waste your time. We don't give you fluff on Mentor Mondays. We've been in a series over the past several weeks of helping you dial in and choose your coaching niche. And we're finishing up this series actually tonight. If you really benefited from this series or any of the things that we've been doing on Mentor Monday, do me a huge favor, like this post and share it or comment or do all of those things. That tells Facebook and it tells YouTube that we're doing a good job. You know, our priority on these Mondays is to help you grow in coaching proficiency, and it's also to help you have a thriving coaching practice. So we want to get this in front of more people as they are coming online and looking on YouTube and all of those other things. That would mean a lot to us. Let me say hello to a few people who are saying hello to me. Hello to Tracy. Who else I need to say hello to? Deanna, who's joining us from Alberta, Canada. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you learn something every time that we're together. That's awesome. Dan, who's saying hello to us from Huntingburg, Indiana. I was saying it right. If you would, you guys just keep those comments coming in. Let us know that you are here. Tell us where you're joining us from, what you're excited about, what you feel life and momentum on. This is going to be momentous. We're going to finish up this series in a big way. And as I've been doing over the past several weeks, I'll also have these slides for you that you can text in and you can download. But do us a huge favor and let us know that you are here. Um, Holden, who's saying hello. Good to see you, Holden. Let's keep those comments coming in and staying active. Let us know that you are here. And let me pay the bills really quickly as we're starting. We've got a few things coming up here in the next week. Two of them that I want to talk to you about really quickly. One of those, the fastest track for certification, is happening this Saturday. It's in our one-day life coach certification training accelerator. We start at 7 a.m. Pacific time. We end at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And what we have done is we have curated all of our training. We've boiled it down and we've brought all of the essentials together. And really what we do is that we take the exact same content that we have in our boot camp, also in the life coach certification course, and we boil it all down for those of you who maybe you've got a little bit of a procrastination issue, or maybe you're just kind of like, is there a one and done fast track way where I can do this? Because I'm just super, super double booked and it's getting close to the holidays and everything else, but I'd like to get this done. How can you help me? This is what we've put together. For those of you who can't get it done in any other way, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. Here's what's actually included. The enrollment fee is only $195. Value on this program is $3,500. It's a full 12-hour Saturday training. Included in this are brandable templates, including coaching agreements and a client welcome pack. You're also going to get access to the coaching tool starter kit as well as question samples. You're going to obviously earn your life coach certification and you're going to get your certificate. And just so that you guys don't think that one and done means that you never get any support or help from us, even though you're enrolled for Saturday, you also get access to live Tuesday night coach training where you can always come in each week, get your questions answered, get the latest version of the training, and connect with other coaches who are part of the program. Again, all of these sessions mirror what we have inside of our life coach certification course and boot camp. Session one is foundations of coaching. Then you'll get a 15-minute break. And then you'll come back for the anatomy of a dynamic coaching session. Most of you have never seen coaching before. You'll actually see it. We'll have a demo of a coaching session, and then we're going to unpack all of those pieces of it during that session. Sessions 3 and 4. 3 is how to help your clients get extraordinary results. This is all about goal setting. It's all about accountability and all of those things that we do as coaches. Then we have 2 sessions on how to listen on a transformational level. How do we move from listening at a lower level all the way into an intuitive level? What should you be listening for as a coach? What are the things that should be getting your attention? That's what we cover over those sessions. Session six is how to ask powerful questions. How do you ask questions that unlock transformation? and open up a dynamic session. Session 7 is how to establish a growing coaching practice. We give you a lot of information and material on that because, again, for me, when I got trained and certified as a coach, it was anybody's guess on how you were supposed to get clients. And quite frankly, most of the people that I learned from in terms of coaching, I didn't actually learn anything about getting clients from. This is why we've put so much into session 7 to give you the business side of coaching, how to set, what business structure, how do you actually create multiple streams of income as a coach, as well as what you should be including inside of a coaching agreement and all of those other kinds of things. Live Tuesday night coach training is a part of this. And again, the value is $3,500, but we're giving this to you for only $195. Also, what is coming up is this Thursday is the first week of the new cohort of Masters Academy. Some of you have specifically been looking for a Christian life coach certification. We started this earlier in the year, and it's utilizing a transformational model that I've put together over the last 20 years of coaching people, and it hinges on 4 pillars. The first pillar is intimacy with God. Second pillar is identity in Christ. The third pillar is the promises of God. And the fourth is purpose and calling. We walk you through all of that training over the course of 6 weeks. Now, this is an advanced credential, so you do need a basic credential to be able to get this. What's included in Masters Academy is 6 weekly live sessions. You're also going to be a part of a Christian coaching community because there's going to be a lot of support. There's going to be a lot of connection and people that you'll be doing your assignments with. You're going to earn an advanced CPC, Certified Professional Coach certification, and you're also going to be led through 60 pages of coaching tools, spirit-led transformational coaching tools and questions. And of course, that's what that download looks like when you get it on your end. The cost is only $395 if you've already got your basic credential out of the way. If you still need to get your basic credential out of the way, you can bundle for only $495. And that's what's coming up in the next week. Now, before we jump in tonight, if you want the slides, jump on your phones right now and text the word slides to 833-258-7547. We'll send you the link where you can scroll down and you can download those slides. Let me say hello to a couple of people as well really quickly. Sharon, who's joining us from Long Island, excited about everything I'm learning from this course. Thank you. You are so welcome. I appreciate that. And let's see, who else do I need to say hello to? Tracy saying, I'm so excited for Masters Academy. So cool. All right. Now, don't forget, right here, text slides, the word slides. Don't text anything else. Text the word slides to 833-258-7547. We're going to finish this particular series called How to Choose a Coaching Niche. And tonight we are specifically talking about how to nail your niche in one line. What am I really talking about in that? Well, week by week, and if you have not been with us, you can go back in time and you can go back to all of those sessions because I started out with the argument for why coaches need to be choosing a niche. And I gave you a lot of reasons. Biggest reason, it's going to open the door for your business. And we talked about the most lucrative coaching niches that are all based around problems, as well as each little piece of choosing how you would actually choose your coaching niche. Where we left off with things was really this, is that the things you are most passionate about, you see how all of these other things come into alignment with that. Passion encompasses everything. We talked about that last week. Passion encompasses everything. You need to choose something that you are passionate about. Every one of these things, you can't just choose it because you think that there's a lot of money involved in it. You choose it because you're passionate about it. You're excited about it. You're excited about the kinds of problems that people come to you. You're excited, and it's part of your story that you like to tell. And so what you're going to find is that your niche actually involves your story. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Your niche also is going to involve skills that you've learned in the past that you're really good at, but you're also still passionate about. And it's also going to be in the people that you are most passionate about. You're going to do your best to work with the people that you're most passionate about. And obviously, knowledge, things that you know already a lot about. You probably could write a book about all of the information that you know within this. We bring all these things together, and you see that problems and passion are two big overriding areas. Why is that important? Because the problems that you choose equal money. That's why people will actually choose a coach. They don't want to choose a coach who is saying live your best life. They have a problem that they would pay money to get out of, to solve. And this is where it leads us to now. How do we bring all these things together? And how do we communicate that to people in the most cohesive, simplest, clearest way that we possibly can? Well, here's why that matters. Why it matters is that most coaches have created a bottleneck to getting clients through their vague and often really, really bad messaging. You can have the best niche in the world and you can be excited about it. And you can actually be very good at helping people achieve and get breakthrough or whatever. But it doesn't really matter if you're terrible at actually communicating that. And here's one thing that I will tell you: if you just did a cursory review, just do some simple browsing. Right after we get done with this live, do some simple browsing of coaching websites. And what you're going to find is it's often impossible to determine who that coach helps and what problems they help people solve. And a big reason it's because coaches don't actually clarify and choose a niche to begin with. But on most coaching websites that you go through, and here's what I would say: I I am consistently evaluating coaches' websites, and I have been for years. I have found almost no coach who is doing it well. I have looked at everybody's social media. I've found almost no coach who is doing social media well. They've created a bottleneck, and it's unclear who it is that they help. It's vague. It's unclear what problems that they help people solve. And if that's not clear to people, then you are not going to get clients. That's why it matters. Good messaging, though. I'm going to say good website messaging, good social media messaging, anything that you do. Anyone browsing your website, anyone browsing your social media, whether they are a potential client or not, should be able to know your niche in just a glance. We're talking about seconds. As soon as they come on your website, in seconds, they should know you've done all this niche work over the last few weeks. Then people should be able to know, even if they're not your ideal client. You know what's great as a coach? I used to have people that would open the door for my business and they were never clients before, but they knew who it was that I helped. Uh, they knew who it was that I help, and they knew what problems that I help people solve. And just with that information alone, my referral network could always open the door for my business because maybe they are not my ideal client, but it was so clear who it is that Paul helps. It was so clear what problems Paul actually is really good at helping people solve that was constantly opening the door for my business. Now, good messaging means that your messaging should be, number one, it should be clear and simple. It does not need to be clever. And there's some coaches who like to choose clever, but clever usually creates more confusion than it actually helps. I've seen all kinds of crazy names for coaches in their businesses. Lion something other, frog coaching. I saw one that was just like sky something other. I saw another one that was like I've just seen just like bizarre things like Mindcraft. I saw that one time. I guess it was kind of like a spin on Minecraft. I'm assuming, and it's just too much. It's confusing. Choose, if you're going to even choose branding, at least choose something that makes it really clear who it is that you help and what problems that you help people solve. If you don't do that, you're working against yourself. So we want clear and simple. We don't want clever. We need messaging that is focused on the problem. Speak directly to the challenge. Speak directly to the need that your ideal client feels. See that word right there, feels? There's a reason why I have it there. People make decisions based on what they feel, and they need to feel the pain. They need to feel the problem. They need to feel that, because here's the deal, is that if they don't feel it, if it's not something that they actually feel, you're not going to do something about it. I always use this example of when years ago I tweaked my back, and it was so dumb. I was carrying a huge hamster cage, and I was going around a corner. It was ridiculous why we had why were you carrying a hamster cage? We went to a wedding that was some few hours away. We had no one to take care of our dog and our hamster, so we had this gigantic hamster cage. And so we loaded everything up, and we looked like the Beverly Hillbillies. And we drive to where this wedding was, and we found an Airbnb where we could have the animals. And we had everything in there, and everything went great over the course of the weekend. And when we were leaving, I was carrying the cage, and they had all of this work that they had done on the property with all this fancy landscaping. And I lost my footing around something, and I tweaked my back because I was holding on to the cage. And as the months are progressing, I wouldn't do anything about my back. I was like, at first I was just trying to stretch, and then I'm taking ibuprofen, and then I'm putting a heating pad to start my day every day. And I was doing all these things until one day I suddenly started having muscle spasms on my back. And that was pretty close to the worst pain that I'd ever felt up to that moment. Kidney stones was probably the worst. But when I finally hit that pain level, I was ready to do something about it. It's the exact same thing with finding a client. If you don't hit the pain level, you'll tolerate your life. You'll tolerate certain kinds of things that maybe it's inconvenient and it's frustrating, but you'll put a heating pad on it. You'll take some ibuprofen, and you'll put up with it until all of a sudden you hit level 8 or higher, and then you're ready to do something. See, these are the problems that actually involve money. The transfer of money and someone working with you is that I'm not talking about brokenness. I'm not talking about people who need therapy. I'm talking about that they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And until they are, they're not going to do anything. So what do we want to choose? Again, going back to our problems, the most lucrative niches are going to be the problems that people are aware of, they're thinking about, and they feel them. And so we want to talk about things that people actually feel. Third thing that I'll say, outcome oriented. Good messaging is outcome oriented. Highlight the specific result or transformation that clients can expect from working with you. So this, we're talking about the before and after. Now, don't forget to text in, because you can get all these slides. Good messaging, again, has a specific, impactful statement that clearly communicates who you help, what you help them with, and the outcome they can expect. So let me give you 5 steps to creating really, really clear, simple messaging. Number 1, define your people. We've done all that work over the last few weeks. If you have not done it, you can go back in time, but let me just wrap this up about your people. Who are the people you feel most passionate about helping? Is it new moms? Is it young professionals? Is it creatives? Whatever. We need to know who you're most passionate about helping. There's a lot of questions from that particular session. What specific group do you naturally connect with or have experience in supporting? What type of client excites you? It makes you feel energized to work with. You can go back in time to that particular training a couple of weeks ago on Mentor Monday. I gave you about 10 questions for you to really dial down and dig into who your people are. Once you know what that is, what we have to do as an action step is that you need to write down your ideal client in one line. Like, here's an example. My ideal clients are young professionals who feel stuck in their careers. You should be able to boil down your ideal client in as simple as that. If you cannot boil down your ideal client in a simple one line, you are still confused and you need to go back to work. You got to keep working on it. Listen, if you can't specify who it is that you want to work with, then you're not opening the door for your business. You are a business without a sign. You're a commercial building that's all fancy and nice, but nobody knows who works in there or what anybody does. And so no one's going to stumble in accidentally into your business. Matter of fact, the only way that you're going to get a client at that point is accidentally. We used to, in my networking groups, used to tell people, I used to be very specific. Hey, if you're looking, and we would talk to people and say, well, how can I help you in your business in our networking groups to find referrals or whatever? And I would specify, this is who my ideal client is. If you meet this kind of a person, this is who my ideal client is. We should have it in one line. You don't have 10 different types of ideal clients. You have one. Think of it like you would dating. You can only date one person at a time. So that's what we narrow it down to. One simple line. That's step number one. Step number two is that you've got to identify the problem. And you should have done all of that work a few weeks ago. But what keeps your people up at night? What problem are they obsessing about? What struggles or frustrations do they experience daily? Why do I talk about it in that kind of way? Because the problems that they're already aware of that are keeping them up at night equal money. They will pay for solutions for those kinds of problems. Another question you can throw in there, but I have several in that week that we talked about lucrative coaching niches. If you could help them overcome one major obstacle, what would it be? Now, let me give you an action. You need to summarize the problem that you solve. And how long? In one line. You got to do this in one line. Again, if you can't describe your people in one line and you can't describe the problem you help people solve in one line, you don't know who you are yet as a coach and you don't know what your niche is. A lot of times when you're talking to people, let's say that I was going to do a 1 minute pitch or a 30-second intro to someone. I need to know who it is that I help so clearly and the problem so clearly that that person would understand immediately and they could actually remember it. So that example then is feeling lost and directionless in their careers. So we had young professionals as an example of the people. And here's the problem: feeling lost and directionless in their careers. Now, step three is what's the desired result. Remember, they want something. What is it that they want? What ultimate outcome do your clients want to achieve? What transformation or success would make a meaningful difference in their lives? You need to know what it is that they want. How will they feel, or what will they be able to do after working with you? And here's the action. In one line, you should write down the result you help them achieve in one line. And this is an example. My group, they're going to gain clarity on what they want to do and confidence to make scary career moves. Right? Now, once you have all of those things together, we go to step four, is you need to craft your niche statement. And here's how simple it is. You're going to create a niche statement with this format. You ready? I help, and put in there in brackets, I help. You're going to write your who, that one line that you have. You're going to shorten it a little bit. Who struggle with what? The problem. You already wrote the one line a while ago. To achieve, here's what they want. That one line. Now, you want to see what that looks like in terms of an example? This is what it looks like in an example. I help young professionals who feel stuck in their careers gain the clarity and confidence to make bold moves. Here's another example. I help new moms who feel overwhelmed create routines that bring balance and joy back into their days. See, you can see the people, the problem, and the result that they actually want. People, new moms. Problem, feel overwhelmed. Solution, balance, and joy. And actually, the routine is what actually brings the balance and joy, but the balance and the joy is actually what they want. They don't want a routine, they want balance and joy. Here's another example. I help creatives who struggle with self doubt develop the mindset and skills to thrive in their passion. So, who do you help? Creatives. What is the problem? They struggle with self doubt. What is the solution? Well, they They want this result that is thriving in their passion, but the solution is developing mindset and skills to thrive. So when you put this thing together, it's this simple. I help blank who struggle with blank to achieve blank. Simple enough, simple, clear. In seconds, someone comes on your social media, you should see that in your on your profile page on Facebook. We should see that in the bio for your Instagram. We should see that in your bio on your TikTok. We should see that on your YouTube. We should see this on your website. Across all of these things, there should be a simple niche statement that everybody can understand. And here's the last part. Step 5. Step 5, you can refine it for clarity. And you can ask yourself, but you can also ask other people these questions. You should be able to answer a yes to all of these clarity questions. One, is my statement specific enough that anyone reading it will understand what I do and who I help? And if it's not clear to you and all the people that you have looking at it, you got to tweak it and do a little bit more work. Second question, does it clearly address a real problem and a desired result? Because here's the thing, you don't want to be selling sandwiches nobody ordered, right? What do you mean by that, Paul? I mean that there needs to be actually addressing a real problem that your ideal client actually is facing, that they actually want a solution to. So we need to answer that question. Is that a yes? And you can also get other people to look at it as well. Here's the third. Oh, you know the other thing that you can do? You can find your ideal client, whoever they are, and you can show it to them and say, hey, is this you? Does this speak to you? Because I believe that you're my ideal client, the kind of person. And is this a real problem that you feel like people like you and people like you really want to address? If they say no, we need to do a little bit more work. And here's a third clarifying question. Could someone repeat this back to me easily? This is classic good branding because it needs to be simple and it needs to be memorable. If I ran through some different brands that are out there, you can probably tell me what their message is, what their tagline is. If I said if I said McDonald's, you can probably, depending on your age, you can probably think of a lot of different taglines that they've had over the years. They had like McLoving it, and they had they had good time, great taste. They had a lot of different things over the years, but they had a little jingle, but you could usually remember what those various things are. But think about all of the major brands that you can go through, like Energizer. What is it? Well, it we know that it never stops, right? So there are certain things, certain little hooks and different things that we can actually write that makes it really memorable. Easiest thing is that when somebody comes on your website, even if they're not your ideal client, you want it to be so memorable that if they met that person along the way later on, maybe a month later, a couple of months later, they actually can remember you and they associate you with the problem and solution and the people who are involved in that. And so when they meet those people, they're opening the door to your business. That is good messaging. Again, if you want the slides, if you haven't yet, text that word slides to 833-258-7547 and you'll get the link, and it's on a little button at the bottom of the page. Now, let me pay the bills and we're going to get out of here. Some of you, I'm taking your excuses away. Here's what just so that you guys know, I know what the problem and the solution is for all of our coaches who come on this thing. Problem 1, affordability. You've already looked at all these other programs that are out there, thousands of dollars, and you're going to get anything that you paid for. In many cases, you can't really justify spending thousands of dollars like you would pay on a used car these days with no guarantees of things. We've already solved that. We're an accredited program valued at thousands of dollars. This program is only $195. So I've taken that excuse. That is affordable for anybody. And even if you're like, well, I don't have 195 on me, I guarantee you could find it if you actually wanted to follow through and get trained and certified. So that first problem we took care of. Second problem was always in the realm of, can people actually attend a training? So what we did originally is that we made a self-paced course. We still have that. You could enroll in that for $195. Self-paced, create your own schedule. But I know some of you are procrastinators. Some of you, you're like, I know I'm not going to stay involved and I'm not going to stay motivated or whatever. This is why we created the Saturday version, because you're like, hey, I'm busy. I got kids. I got all this other stuff. Join us on Saturday. You're on Zoom. You're going to be on your phone all day anyway. Let's face the reality. All of you are going to be on your phone all day on Saturday anyway. But many of you are going to be just scrolling through social media. And some of you are like, well, I don't spend that much time on my phone. I dare, and I beg to differ with you. Look at your phone and look at how much screen time. You could have already knocked out your certification instead of looking at reels all day or following news on any of your favorite news sites. So you're already going to be on your phone all day on Saturday. You can go on there, you can mute yourself, and you can engage in training all day. It's going to be 12 hours long, and you're going to knock all of your training out in a single day. You'll just have to turn in your assignments and take the exam afterwards. But there's no more excuses, because we've got a self-paced course, we got a 3-day course, or we've got a 1-day. I've been in the business because I know what your problems are. Affordability is one. Second problem is your schedule. We've taken that out of the way. There is nothing, unless you have something that you scheduled months ago on Saturday. Most of you have nothing going on Saturday. And if you do, you can move it out of the way so that you can actually embark on your career, because November, December, January, February are massive months for coaches. You'll make your money back in 1 hour of coaching someone. So that's been another problem. Your other problems are always involved around the things that you haven't gotten to a readiness to solve. Tolerating the job that you're in that has not given you a significant raise ever and will not in 2025. We can't wait on what's going to happen in the future and who's going to be doing what and who's going to be leading what, and we can't be looking around at inflation. The people who are changing the world are the people who actually are taking charge of their own lives. That's where it all starts. A choice that is different. And coaches since 2020 are all making more money than they were in 2020. About 70% of coaches have extravagantly increased their business. And there's some other coaches that their business has at least stayed the same since 2020. We're at least in a growing industry, and every market's an underserved market. So this is an incredible time to be able to step in. Saturday, when you join us, you'll join us at 7 a.m. Pacific. That is 9 a.m. Central. That's 10 a.m. Eastern. And what is that 195 going to get you? The full 12-hour Saturday training. You're going to get brandable templates, including coaching agreements and welcome pack. You realize that that's worth a lot of money right there? Most people, when they start, they don't get any of that from the coaching schools that they go to. And even if they do, it's not something that they can even manipulate or change. These are all fully customizable and editable, which means that you can put in your own branding and all of those other kinds of things. It also includes a coaching starter kit and question samples. You're also going to earn your life coach certification. Yes, we do give you a certificate. And you're also going to be invited to Tuesday night live coach training, where you can always ask your questions, connect with other coaches, because we don't want you to be on your own. The 7 sessions, again: foundations of coaching, the anatomy of a dynamic coaching session, how to help your clients get extraordinary results, how to listen on a transformational level, how to ask powerful questions, how to establish a growing coaching practice, and of course, live Tuesday night coach training. The value is $3,500, but the cost is only $195. Now, for those of you who already have your basic credential out of the way, or you're looking to bundle and knock out 2 credentials at the same time, Masters Academy starts this Thursday. Many of you have asked me for a Christian life coach certification over the last handful of years, and we put it together. I put this model together called the IIPP Transformational Coaching Model. There's nothing like it in the industry. It is a spirit-led coaching model. It's not simply using the coaching models that everybody else has used. It teaches you how to show up in a coaching session and truly be spiritually intuitive. To be able to listen on 2 levels, to listen on a spiritual level, but also listen to the person who's in front of you. And it's different than every other coaching model in that you're really talking about three people who are at the session. You're talking about yourself and you're talking about the client, but you're also talking about the Spirit of God who is present. And here's the thing is that our coaches who are going through it are all having their lives changed. Their jaws dropped as they're going through the training because they have to use those tools on one another. And they're also seeing the people that they're practicing with getting transformation in a moment that might not have happened after years of coaching. This is what this model actually does. What's included in Masters Academy is 6 weekly live sessions. You're also going to get access to the Christian coaching community so that you're going to have a lot of support. You're going to have a lot of friendships and a lot of people who understand who are in the trenches with you. This is an advanced credential, so you will get an advanced CPC certification, and you're also going to get a huge tool set based on the spirit-led transformational coaching model, 60 plus pages of tools and questions. Many of these that we're going to be showing you how to utilize, you're going to be utilizing with one another. And those are what your assignments are going to be, learning to actually utilize the tools. This is the one program that we have that enables you to also get a facilitator's license. So there's a business opportunity if you want to train other coaches. Again, that value of this program is at least $4,500. The program is only $395. If you've not gotten your basic credential, just add 100 to that. You can get 2 credentials, your basic CLC, Certified Life Coach credential, and your CPC credential through this. That's what's going on this week, you guys. And again, no more excuses, right? We've taken all your excuses away. There's just, are you going to do something or have you just not gotten to the pain level? You still going to keep taking ibuprofen all the way into 2025? Are you going to act like, well, November and December, family's going to be coming in and they're going to be leaving again in January. You're going to still be in the career that you're in right now. The only way that we have a different year is that we change what we're doing. So if you want to get trained and certified, Saturday is your ticket. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. You're not going to be Christmas shopping on Saturday anyway. You're going to be on your phone anyway. So you might as well knock out your certification. If you want to get Masters Academy, this CPC certification out of the way, that's going to be happening on Thursday nights. Thanksgiving week, we will move that training to a Saturday morning so that you can enjoy Thanksgiving with your family and you can shop after midnight or whatever, and you can get some sleep, and we'll do that session. But it allows you to get that out of the way before Christmas rolls around. But let's do this thing, guys. Like November and December are important months for coaching. Some of you have not gotten your business up and going yet. You're missing out on those months, but you don't have to miss out on January or 2025, where you have a new year, but you're actually living into what you're calling and your purposes. So let's do this. There is a payment plan on our website for everything. So if you just scroll down a little bit farther, you can actually find a payment plan on there. So awesome. Well, cool, everybody. Listen, I appreciate you guys all immensely. We're going to end this, and then we're going to come right back, because what we're going to do is that we're going to replay and we're going to restream the training for tonight. Don't forget, text in for those slides if you want to go over those questions and have all the help that we gave you. Listen, I appreciate you guys all immensely. Have a great rest of your week and take care.